Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PAX South.
Yeah.
Inside our gigantic hat are questions you have submitted. Some of them are in white envelopes, and some of them are in red envelopes. Now, historically, red envelopes, such as this one, have indicated challenging or compromising questions. But as we have determined at previous Q&As, Robert Koo is colorblind.
Yeah. He does not seem to care about the color of the envelope.
He doesn't see colors at all. He sees green. I think green is the only color that he knows about.
Start with white.
Like money. All right. Same page on the money? All right, good.
This question seems like it's from a bygone era. But seriously, where do you both fall on the Mac versus PC thing now and Android versus iPhone? This is from Jerry Carnes in Austin, Texas.
All right.
I've switched back to, I've gone back and forth, but right now I'm on PC because I have the Surface, so I'm
Exactly. But you've had a bunch of different phases, right? Where sometimes there was a period of time where you had like an iPhone and a Windows PC, and then you had a Windows PC and a Windows Phone.
Yeah.
And then you had the Mac and the Windows Phone, and then, right?
Yeah, I did the Windows Phone thing for a year solid, and it's just a nightmare.
And then you had, well, what happened is that eventually you decided that you wanted to download an app.
Yeah.
Like
after a year, you're like,
okay,
oh.
not apps.
An app.
You wanted to download any application.
It would be cool to play a game on my phone. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It was a bad move. But no, I do have an iPhone now, and then I have my Surface. So
Yeah.
That's my current setup.
Yeah, and that's what sort of happened for me. Like, when I realized that mostly what I needed from a computer was just like a blank window and a keyboard attached to it, then that was great. For a long time, I was able to do the Mac thing, and it was fine. But eventually, especially when indie shit started to just pop and go crazy, a lot of times that stuff will be multi-platform because it's on Unity or whatever. But a lot of times, really weird stuff, like essentially like fetish gamer stuff that I want to check out is going to be PC only. Is that too much? Is that?
No, fetish games.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about? I'm not alone in this. But basically, it was the same problem he had on the phone. Like, I need to see where that edge is. And right now, at least, that edge is on the PC.
White. We're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Historically.
Really?
What? Is that?
Well, someone else is going to have to pick those up.
You. You are going to have to
I
pick
guess
those
so.
up. When do you want to retire? Or do you conceivably think that you could write and draw funny JPEGs for the rest of your life? This is from Marcus.
I don't know. I don't see 50-year-old. Really? What are you doing?
Well, here's the problem. And it's because of my vast intellect, like my foresight. You are putting this in front of the questions.
Yeah, but they're open. You're not going to... Are you going to, like, grab one that's already open and be like, have we done this one already?
You need to be open to the possibility.
Well, I'm not putting them on the floor.
Okay,
Here,
we'll
can I put them in the back?
Put them in the other frond or fold of this hat.
What was I saying? Probably something really smart.
Let's be honest.
Oh, I don't see 50-year-old Mike hustling on stage.
No, 50-year-old Mike is the gambler.
Yeah, maybe we move to the gambler at that point.
Because you need a song that you can mosey to.
I don't know. I haven't thought about retiring. I still really like making Penny Arcade, but honestly, I feel, if anything, re-energized by the sort of possibilities. The last two fan fiction comics that we did, Destiny and League of Legends, really sort of showed me. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was fun, right?
I mean, there's no reason to stop if we can just make whatever we want.
Right.
You know, like if I was drawing Garfield,
right, to the extent that you endure it, right?
Yeah.
There is a slider here.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're stuck drawing, I guess, Penny Arcade, Gabe and Tycho.
Well, yeah, I mean,
comics.
Penny Arcade is like Lookouts, Daughters of the Airwood, Automata, right?
Sand.
Crazy shit. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you
then
so
it's
much.
any fan fiction comic we want to make now.
Oh, exactly. But also, we talked about this a little bit when we were down in Australia, is that, as a generality, our form, like our basic medium, is that of the dick joke. But the dick is such a mercurial creature. The older you get, it is still giving you material.
Oh, yeah.
Not literal material. I
Well-
understand that stops altogether at some point.
No,
but
it's like
what-
our most recent dick jokes were about vasectomy.
Exactly, right? So the 38-year-old creating Penny Arcade, that dick joke is actually specifically about the vas deferens. So if you look, it's like if you go into a butcher shop and they have that poster that like has all the different parts of the beef.
We use every part of the
We
dick.
use every part of the dick, right?
Nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste.
I'm pulling out a red envelope.
Michael, no.
Just explodes. Ah.
What is your favorite soda? Right?
Yeah. Has there ever been a point where you looked at all this Gamergate shit going on in the industry and said, fuck this, and wanted to just peace out? It seems sort of bananas out there. This is from Ethan Lang in Austin, Texas. I don't know that I've ever wanted to peace out, so to speak.
No, it is not. I don't think piecing out in the face of something that you don't agree with, I feel like is letting the terrorists win. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that, because there's a lot of articles about how gamers are and what gamers are like, but I come to this fucking show apparently every 2 months.
Yeah, we just did one of these, right?
Every 2 months I come to this show and that's not what I see. I'm willing to accept the evidence of my eyes and say that we're here to do it right. Right? That's the response, is you do it right.
Yeah, I think that this last year especially has been a really good lesson in not letting the stuff that seems so important on the internet affect you in real life, because when we come to do PAXs, like Jerry said, every 2 months, it doesn't penetrate. Like, none of that stuff ever bubbles up when we're all just together playing games. And it really makes you realize that the internet is just a bad place to have these sorts of conversations.
Could you list out or otherwise publish the specific names and Twitter accounts of the people that I need to bribe in order to make Acquisitions Incorporated happen regularly and more often?
Sure. Yeah.
I fear the gravity of the situation isn't being appreciated.
Well, yeah, you should just tweet at whatever the official Wizards of the Coast Twitter account is.
Yeah, at Jesus Christ.
Is he on Twitter?
That's the Lord. Oh, are you serious?
Wow. Yeah, just tell WotC. Send them emails, send them tweets, because we will do it as often as they are willing to set it up.
Yeah, we have an endless appetite for that stuff. And every time we do it, like my garb,
Yeah.
essentially I'm like, it's like I want to cosplay, but all the stars have to be right in order to do it. And so every time we do it, it's just like, we're getting back to the fetish thing. But every
Are
time,
we?
yes, every time we come back to it, you'll note that I've got a new piece of plate.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Did you check those pauldrons?
They were pretty impressive pauldrons.
How about my evil mask?
Saw the mask, yeah.
All right, I just want to make sure you're on board.
I still just have the cape. and then I wear jeans.
Well, no. Hold on. You have the jeans, but I mean, it's kind
I
of.
do have my wand holsters
You
now.
have twin wand holsters.
I do.
And inside the cape, you have the dice bag pocket.
The secret pocket. I'm going to put this in front. Fuck you. If you can't figure this out, I can't help you. After becoming a father, I have noticed that stories have affected me in a vastly different way than my friends that do not have children.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest ways you have noticed parenthood changing the way you experience, consume, and produce media? This is from Logan in Fate, Texas.
Is that Logan right there? Sup?
Fate, Texas. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Hold on. Your town is called Fate?
That's what I just said.
That ball's off the hook.
Did you assume I pronounced it wrong?
Well, no. Well, sometimes there are pronunciation issues, but I'm just saying don't do that. That is fresh.
Can't stop
Anyway,
me.
it's fresh.
Yeah, it absolutely affects things. I won't. I'm weak to that sort of damage now, right? So like that movie, The Road.
Oh no.
Can't watch it.
I won't watch it.
Won't watch it.
I watched
No.
5 minutes of it, and I said,
Oh my
"Fuck
God!
you."
Did you remember that Will Smith movie where he was like homeless?
Yeah, and he was like sleeping with.
He was sleeping in a bathroom.
No.
And then he had his kid in his arm, and he had one foot on the door because someone was like trying to break it. What was it? Yeah, won't watch it. I saw that trailer.
The trailer.
And I cried.
No.
I cried at the end of The Last of Us. Like I bawled at the end of The Last of Us.
He did.
Yeah, it absolutely changes you.
Yeah. So, you know how these days it's not uncommon to have a device like a remote camera, like maybe in your house that you can check, right? Like maybe it's a child monitor or it's a security thing.
Okay.
All right. So when you have a child, what happens? Or if you know someone who has your child, I couldn't do it. It's like having this other perspective. It's like being given access to this other perspective on things. And so it definitely changes how you perceive things, especially stories. But it also lets you see things for the first time, even though you already know about them. Like, I have a picture in my hall of Elliot the very first time he ever had sugar. Right?
Yeah.
The first time he ever had sugar,
Yeah.
we gave him a block. I mean, imagine like a Minecraft-sized block of carrot cake. And he looked at it, and it's like, before thought, like some animal part of his brain knew that he had been given a great gift.
Yeah.
And so he just reached into the heart of it, like in
Indiana Jones.
like in Indiana Jones,
He's
like in the Temple of Doom.
Right.
He pushed his hand just into the molten core of this cake, and he just pulled out a handful of it and just went. And it's like a time-lapse set of photos.
Nice.
And I could taste it. Like
Yeah.
I knew too what it was to have it, right, for the
Yeah.
first time.
As far as the art that we make, I definitely think it affects it. And when you look at Lookouts and Daughters of the Ironwood, a lot of the stories that we want to tell right now are about kids, and that absolutely comes from being fathers, I think.
Yeah. What is the best, worst, in parentheses, idea that you have had that Robert has shot down?
Oh, there's a bunch. So I have pitched so he drags us all over the goddamn world doing a PAX every 2 months. And I said, why don't we just make a PAX land? Like, right? Why not pick one place and year-round it's a PAX theme park? He's like, no, it's not feasible.
No, it would cost $500 million. Right?
We also had the PAX Cruise.
PAX
he
Cruise?
shot down. PAX Hawaii, he didn't like.
Yeah. Apparently, Pax Luna is impossible to insure.
Yeah.
Right?
God, he shoots down our brilliant ideas all the time. What else has there been? Oh, yeah, he
Oh.
wouldn't let me have a motorcycle. Thank you.
No, I mean, didn't Harley Davidson like email you?
Yeah, they were going to give me a motorcycle if I like documented myself learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Well, see, and this was a gift to me too, because I'm on back of that.
Oh, yeah, you
motherfucker.
got your arms around me. We're going down the freeway.
We're listening to Fast Car, even though it's a motorcycle.
Yeah. And he's like, you'll kill yourself. You'll die. You know what happens if you die? Like 20 people are out of a job. He has a really dumb voice when we. Now I understand because whenever I say something and my wife is like, Mike was like, "Ruh," and I have the dumbest voice when she says the things I say. Now I understand it.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, he's always shooting down our brilliant ideas. White envelope. You guys would go to Paxland though, right? See? That's a moneymaker, Robert. Can I be your hype man? Put me to the test. This is from Michael in Killeen, Texas. Are you here, Michael? Well, how am I supposed to put you to the text?
Yeah, nice work.
Pretty shitty hype, man. So, no, you can't be. You suck at this job.
He's gonna come in here out of breath later. No, I'm ready.
I'm ready to hype.
He's gonna have the clock swinging from the exertion. These motherfuckers.
Don't read it first. Just read it as you.
No, when I see text, it gets absorbed. I'm sorry. It's like I can feel the words and they go into my brain. As a pet, would you rather have a puma-sized house cat?
The whole reason we went to this format was to avoid this sort of question.
As a pet, would you rather have a puma-sized house cat or a grizzly bear small enough to fit in your front pocket?
Oh, a tiny grizzly bear. That's not even a difficult question.
Oh, now you're on board.
Well, if I have to answer it, that one's an easy one.
'Cause
Like,
you're
how
pic-
adorable would that be? A little tiny grizzly bear.
Well, he's just kind of rolling and playing
Yeah.
in there.
Just give him a little scritch.
Oh, they love that. Miniature bears?
Yeah.
They can't get enough of that shit. All the miniature bears I have come into contact with.
All right. You guys have both talked about how, in order to maintain your work relationship, you aren't really friends outside of it. Do you regret this cost? And would you try to change your relationship if you ever moved on from PA? This is from a caller inside the house. Yeah, we actually had dinner last night, and it was really nice.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought so.
It wasn't. You didn't find it awkward in any way?
It was a little weird.
You didn't find the constant need to make conversation strenuous?
No. You were just there with my family, and we had a nice dinner, I thought.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot of practice being normal.
No. I actually read an article that Penn and Teller do not hang out, like outside of.
Well, I mean, they probably had to
And
develop.
they attribute that to their long-lasting
Exactly, but
working
they
relationship.
had to develop a different thing, and it's like so. Outside, we are the reason that what we do works, at least in my opinion, is that we are so different. So if we didn't have Penny Arcade,
But we
what
hung
would
out-
happen?
We were friends before Penny Arcade, though.
we were friends before Penny Arcade, always waiting to do a project. We always knew we were going to work together on something. Our relationship is based on it, and you know this.
No, when we were roommates and we just played games and stuff together, like I thought that was nice.
These questions are going to destroy this company.
All right.
Of course, and I want to be very clear. Right?
White envelope. Now
Yeah.
grab a red one, just to see the distinction, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
No, it'd be like. No, it isn't even what's your favorite color. It's like, do you think blue's all right?
There's colors? Question mark?
No, yeah, just colors?
Yeah.
Were you worried about having children because of issues you have? Okay, no, this is a red fucking envelope. was wrong. I was wrong, everybody. I don't really like the person I am. Holy shit. I have a lot of issues I wouldn't want to pass down. You've both talked about personal issues. I know you both have children and love them, but did you worry about this before you had them?
Jesus.
Man, that's brutal. I want to sit down.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Good question. Good question. I'll go first. Honesty time. It's very difficult to see the things that you struggle with in your children. It's very difficult. So when I see my youngest son is a monster. He doesn't have any of these issues. He escaped scot-free.
He is like a werewolf.
Yeah. He's going to be fine. My older son, Gabe, definitely has my anxiety. And it's tough to see it because it's crippling, when you see them scared to do things that you know are fine, but you only know that because you're on medication. I tried to explain to him, I'm like, son, I take a pill every morning so that I don't have these same worries. It's really tough. But, the other side of that is I see him sit down at a table and draw on poster board a map of a fantasy world because he's making a game with his friend. He's labeling the rivers and stuff. And I think, yeah, he got that too, though,
Right.
It's a very odd balance.
Well, here's the difference, right? Is that, we didn't even have the language to describe those things. When we were kids, you just had bad kids and good kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are the two types of kids. Now we have a lot, maybe too many, labels to describe this stuff. But the reality is that, our parents did the best that they could, but they weren't on the inside of it.
Yeah.
And, Elliot and Gabe have someone who understands them.
Right.
And I don't know that I had that.
Yeah.
Right? I had someone who supported me, but could she possibly understand what that's like?
Yeah, we know exactly that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Where you know that it's a ridiculous fear. You know that other people don't feel that way, but you can't get over it. And so being able to talk them through that and talk them down, I guess, is helpful. But yeah, it was scary. You definitely are scared, but the rewards far outweigh the risks, I think.
And you don't always have to mow the lawn.
Yeah, I haven't unloaded a dishwasher
Right?
in a long time.
Sometimes someone else that you invented will mow the lawn.
What is this year's thoughts of everything PAX covers? What is this year's thoughts of everything PAX covers, and how do you think it will change in 2015? This is Austin Littleton.
Yeah. No, I don't think Littleton is his last name. I think Littleton is
No,
the
he's
town
from
he's
Littleton. His name is Austin.
Or his name could be Littleton, and maybe he's from Austin.
I guess that could be too. What is this year's thoughts of everything PAX covers?
Yeah. He wants to know state of PAX.
State of the PAX address.
State of the PAX address.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think it's going to be all right.
What about for 2015? I think that'll be fine too. Just, keep on keeping on.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. Yeah, I'd make a horrible president. The State of the Union? Yeah, we're doing all right. What about next year? Yeah, more the same. If it's not broke. Don't read it first.
No, I'm sorry. It's when I touch the paper. It's when I touch the paper. That's when I know. That's when the knowing happens. It's not my fault.
No, you don't. You pause and read. And
no,
then you chuckle.
I pause and shudder while the data goes in. Question for Jerry. And it's not for you anyway.
All right, I'll fucking look at my phone.
In the last year or two, you've decided to play faster and looser with than usual with the names of people in your inner circle.
Oh, yeah, what is that?
For example, Gorberial.
Morak Carholic?
No, it's Morak Carhollow. You got to keep this shit straight. But there's also Gorb, And
Yeah.
my favorite is Grob Grob.
Yeah, that's out there.
Is this the result of a conscious and profound personal decision to hold the concept of names in contempt? I love this guy. Along with the concept of clothing. Or is it always just a spur of the moment thing? Colin from Houston, you are in my mind. You're in my mind.
Yeah, so what is it?
It's just I can't not play with language.
All right.
It's like there are some things you
Yeah,
can't
but
keep
names are important.
your hands
right?
off to somebody. But here's the deal. No one is ever confused about who I'm talking about.
I don't think that's true.
I think
I think when you said Grob Grob, there were people who were like, "What? Who the fuck is he talking about?"
well, no, but it's like a magic eye picture. You know what I mean? Like maybe
No.
No, I mean, but basically like I have to find where the edge of it is. I have to find where the edge
I
of
think you found it, and I think you can step it back now.
Oh, don't worry. I got it under control.
What what commitment are you able and willing to make right now for the next fortnight
I want
that
to
you
get
haven't
you into a
unintentionally
Toyota.
kept in the past? What commitment are you able and willing to make right now for the next fortnight that you haven't unintentionally kept in the, I don't understand this question.
Well,
David, are you here? Oh, what do you mean, Dave? Let's do it.
I am inspired by this man.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, I guess. I know what Dave and Jerry would like me to say. I need to go back to church.
You need to get back to the Iron Church, son.
Yeah, I haven't been going to the gym and praying to Brohala. What
No,
is
no,
it?
no, no. No, you pray to Broden,
Oh, I paid to play. Yeah.
and you
Broden.
try to avoid, because what's happened is that you've essentially given service over to Brokey, right? And you gotta flip it. You gotta come back onto the other side.
For the next fortnight, how many days is that? That's 2 weeks. I will return to the Iron Church for the next 2 weeks.
I will make it happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do,
Nothing.
jackass? No, you got to do something. Give me that.
I'm just gonna
Give me this.
maintain.
No. You got to commit to something new that you haven't been able to in the past. Oh
Well,
shit!
Yeah, but
That guy's got it.
but I can't do that in 2 weeks.
No, but you can commit to working on it seriously for the next 2 weeks.
Well,
How about the first chapter? A chapter. Can you do a chapter in the next 2 weeks?
this has kind of an old-timey tent revival vibe. I feel like this is going to end with us giving them all cars.
You get no.
I don't have those.
I don't have any cars.
If we could get a car sponsor, maybe. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, but what's the proof? I mean, I have to post it on the site, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I'll do that.
I will make sure.
Starting on the Monday, let the 2 weeks start on
Well, when we get
just
back.
next Monday.
Yeah, when we get back.
Okay.
Hey, good job, Dave.
Yeah, I mean that is like the most wholesome.
Oh, shit.
And there's white envelope.
Yeah, I know. Who is your favorite employee at Penny Arcade? And who is your least? This is from Angela in Corpus Christi. Are you here, Angela? No, so we don't have to answer it.
Shit.
My favorite employee at Penny Arcade. That's a tough one. Let me go through the offices.
they're all
I'm
so
like
great.
Walking through the office. I'm looking in the office. Who's in that one? No, that person sucks. I think Kiko is probably my favorite employee at Penny Arcade.
So fucking.
He's
you
just
can count
great.
on this person. What? No?
And my least favorite employee at Penny Arcade. God, we got a lot to choose from.
Yeah, Jeff is gross.
Jeff's not great, but I don't think he's the worst. Actually, you know what? No, I take back Kiko. Not Kiko.
Yeah, right.
Dave
there.
is my favorite right now because we're playing Destiny together.
Dave.
He's like my
oh, that's
Dave.
right, Dave.
Yeah, not Dave.
Okay, well,
It's not even a real name.
no.
Let's see. Least favorite. Probably Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think we have to say why, right? I mean, that's
No.
just yeah.
Taciturn. Right now, I mean, it's just like you love them all, right?
Sure.
But you don't too, right?
Yeah.
And the worst person in the office, like the most evil, most treacherous.
Oh, I bet I know who you hate. It's Eric, right? Because he's coming for your position on the ping pong ladder.
You need to understand something. So Eric is coming for my position on the ping pong ladder. In fact, he might have been backstage.
Pretty lurking.
I could not be less afraid of Eric.
Wow.
I could not be less afraid.
Wow.
We have very much a master and student relationship. Dave, on the other hand, is impossible to beat at ping pong because he's a hideous mutant.
Is he your least favorite? in
He's
the
my
office?
least favorite right now because of
Wow.
his gangly arms,
Yeah.
the way he lopes around the table, right?
It's disgusting.
Spreading discord and spores, probably.
Probably.
No, but Dave just came on as a designer, and he's the one that started everybody going to the gym, and I really appreciate it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy.
he changed my life. It's crazy.
It's all right.
All right. So what's happened is that a lot of the envelopes have sort of piled up in front of the real ones, and it's actually creating a problem.
It's not creating a problem at all. Oh, look at where you put that one.
You're Satan.
Just read it.
I'm sorry. How do you personally interact with developers and publishers? Do you get invited to the parties of presidents and stuff? Or do they just send dump trucks of money and games with a little wink? This is from Bruce Cho in Los Angeles. That would be awesome.
That would be great. They can start doing that anytime they want.
Yeah. We can give them the address, or they can wire it. Actually, that's good too. I don't want to put them out.
You go to more parties than I do. I don't go to parties.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious.
do use my fame to get free things, which
Yeah.
is the difference.
I'm curious about that, because when we make something, right, it takes like 4 hours,
Yeah.
right? I find what they do very intimidating. So they'll work on one thing, because we worked on games and you did not like it,
It's horrible.
right?
Yeah.
Because you work forever,
Yeah.
and then you put it out, and then you just wait for people to hate you.
Yeah.
Like, I find a person in that circumstance to be a very interesting, very tragic figure.
Yeah, Jerry definitely likes to hang out with industry people.
I just want to know. I want to know what would possibly make you do it, because it's so hard. It's incredibly
Yeah.
It's basically like impossible. But the reality is that there are a lot of people. We were having a conversation about this at lunch just the other day. There are people that still hate me for something I wrote 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, that guy. Where does he work now?
I don't remember.
Oh, he works at Riot. He hates you.
But I said that he was he was munching light bulbs in the last car of the circus train.
That sticks with a person.
And I think that like planted like an evil seed
Yeah.
in his heart. And I met him later and I apologized for it because I could tell that he was still mad.
Yeah.
So
People say that I'm mean, but I may say like a mean thing to somebody, but the mean things you say live in a person for years.
No, it's I make it. It's like a insect or
Yeah.
something, and I just right?
Right.
And then it lands in their ear or their eye, and it burrows inside.
Yeah.
And
You're
I'm
a
not even
horrible
trying to
person.
do it. No, and again, but it goes back to the word thing, right? It's like for me, I'm trying to make a little word machine,
To
And I'm like,
destroy a person.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. And so, but eventually I get obsessed with like the machine and I forget about all the humans, I guess.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to do the next one.
You should, because I don't think anyone else can actually navigate that.
This is empty. I have that in the front.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You're a wild
This on
boar.
top. Thank you for bringing PAX to Texas.
Our pleasure. It's going pretty good.
Robert always talks about this being the, quote, last PAX. Do you think he's lying? This is Aaron in San Antonio. I hope he's not lying. I can't do anymore. Robert, I can't do anymore. I don't think he's lying. What do you?
I think at this scale, here's what's up. I think that for Robert, keeping Penny Arcade small, so that somebody could ask us like, who is our favorite person, who is our least favorite person, and it'll be a joke
Yeah.
because we all love each other.
Yeah.
I think keeping Penny Arcade at this size is so important to him that even an obvious expansion, wouldn't be a part of his strategy. I think maintaining our family is more important.
That was a big shift in Robert, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Does that feel more or less true?
Yeah, I've definitely seen a new side of him where he's more concerned about the family, sort of the inside of the company, and the 15 or 20 of us or whatever that are there, and less focused on just growing.
And but that's true for us too, where we're dumping tons of work into the game, into the Thornwatch game,
Yeah.
into these crazy pants fan fiction comics.
Yep.
Like we really like being Penny Arcade.
Yeah, we
we
sort
like
of
doing that.
turned inside.
What are all your lifestyles like? Are you rolling into work in Ferraris from your mansions, a la Epic Games? Not judging. You guys deserve whatever riches you have. Just curious. Waiting to judge you. No. That's from Richard B. and Austin TX.
You actually just bought a new car, and then I liked it so much that I bought the exact same car. But I called you first, and I was like, would it be okay if I bought the same car you have? Is that weird?
But it's like, yeah, you're not going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah. What car did you buy, Jerry? It's not bad. It's not like you bought a Lamborghini.
It's totally, no, I couldn't do that. I have a BMW i3.
An electric car.
So we moved the office.
Yeah.
And so then the office sometimes has as much as a 2-hour, like it takes me almost 2 hours to get home. And
15 minutes.
yeah, it's right by his house. And so, but the idea that first of all, taking 2 hours to do that already drove me insane. But the idea that I was paying for the privilege of doing it
Yeah.
drove me completely nuts. So I'm marginally happier now just plugging the car in.
Yeah, we just plug it in at night and then drive it all day. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's like a go-kart. It drives like a go-kart, basically.
But no Ferraris,
Nah.
nothing like that. What is the official PAX South 2015 swear word?
Oh, man.
We had one, right?
Did we?
Yeah. Didn't you write it down?
I don't think so. Here, is it okay if we confer about this momentarily?
Just a minute.
All right. Yeah, brisket dick. It's a condition that one acquires.
I'm opening a red envelope. We need red envelope music. Cool. All right. Do you feel that gamers as a whole have become more empathetic or less empathetic? I think empathetics are delicious, by the way.
You like the peach empathetic?
Yeah. Since the advent of social media, I see much more advocacy for minorities in gaming, but I also see a lot more hate directed at non-minorities, and I'm not sure it's a net positive. MC Sunnyvale, California. No, I think that social media is not a net positive. At least it wasn't for me. I think that,
Because of the things you said on it, or
yeah, I can't be trusted with it. No, it's.
it's like the nuclear launch codes.
I think it's just so easy to be an asshole to people when you don't have to see them face to face.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the gift, right?
yeah,
It's the greater internet fuckwad theory.
it is. We came up with that, what, a decade ago?
Yeah, before Twitter.
Yeah. And it's
If
true.
only we had known.
It's true. You know, I've absolutely met people in person that I have been horrible to online, and it's like, oh, you're just a normal person who. We're all just normal people. Like you get so on the internet, you assume that this person is a villain, right? Like, and you only see a couple tweets. You have so few in terms of like data points, right?
Yeah,
Like this
I don't-
person is an evil monster.
I don't
and
think
then you
we're-
meet them
yeah.
and you discover that they're actually a whole person, and maybe you disagree on some stuff. But on the internet, it devolves into hating each other so much.
I'm like obsessed with technology, right? I mean, I think that technology is fascinating, and I love the tools that we invent, et cetera. But I don't know if, like, psychologically, I don't know if we are ready for that technology.
Yeah, I
Because,
mean,
because of the way we perceive things and the way that we model another person's mind based on this really small amount of information.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you end up with one tweet or one quote, and then you build a person around that. You say, well, all
Which
of
is
this
not a
person's-
real person.
Right,
You invent like a person who is just a vessel for your hate.
right. Like I saw, this is real talk time. I saw a tweet. I try to avoid it quite a bit, but I every once in a while I do look, and I saw a tweet to us that was like, hey, every once in a while I remember that the Panera Gate guys have kids, and I black out for a minute. It's so horrible. And it's like, what do you think? I mean, I read him a story every night. I sing a song every night. Like, I make him chicken strips. Like, I'm a normal dad. But this person in their mind has built up a character for me, right? Like, I'm
A
this-
role
a
and
role,
lines and, yeah.
Right, like I'm this horrible monster. And it's so bizarre to read that. And then, because then, you know, I feel like shit for the rest of the day. Like, I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, it may not be. What, to be constantly made to believe that you're Satan? Yeah, I bet that's unhealthy. What's next on the horizon for Penny Arcade? Inquiring minds, fans want to know. And this is from Stan Rogers.
Uh,
I know.
the Stan Rogers?
I hope so.
What's next? I think Thornwatch is hopefully in
Yep.
2015.
And
Um,
right now, your fantasy is to maybe kick it, maybe.
I think a
Or-
Kickstarter is probably in our future. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you make games now.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. What else is? Oh, a lot more fan fiction.
Yeah. We have decided that we actually really enjoy being purveyors of like fancy fan fiction.
Yeah, you know, for a long time we've done Penny Arcade Presents projects where a company will come to us and they'll hire us to create a comic strip about their game, and then we're sort of beholden to them to give a shit about their internal lore, right?
Or you'll do like a 6-page comic, and the feedback you'll get is that the bandanas should be yellow.
Yeah. Or we get notes back from 5 different people about this doesn't work, and then the next person says this does work. Whereas when we do fan fiction, it's like this is us playing in their world and the story that we want to tell, and we don't have to worry about if they like it or not, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
super, really
Well,
free.
yeah, like with the League of Legends one, like that's not 100% on lore.
No, that's the lore of your heart.
Yeah, that's my heart song about Leona and Diana. But you know, I mean, what we can do, like with Pokemon or Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
There's room in there for us to get some shit done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, PAX Land will be opening up.
Maybe Paxland.
No, PAX Land.
What is my favorite acronym to use? What's your favorite acronym?
I guess Dan.
Dan?
Dan acronym. Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
You have to let him have it. You just have to let him have it every now and then. My favorite acronym?
You say yours first, even though I know what they are.
You tell me what they are. Like, I don't even know.
No, I'm saying I know what an acronym is, but I want to hear yours first.
Oh. Oh, my favorite acronym is so in Microsoft corporate culture, they have tons and tons of like 3-letter designations for things, just internally, right? And it happens in the military too. Like words just get truncated and they build new useful words out of them. And they have an internal. They have a term called a TLA, which means 3-letter acronym.
That's pretty good.
I have never stopped being tickled by that. Like, there is some awareness somewhere in that beast. There we are.
Mine
exquisite.
is TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever miss the early days of Penny Arcade when it was mainly the two of you and Robert? Yeah, I think sometimes.
Yeah,
I even miss the earlier days when it was just the two of us.
Oh, sure. Well, and we had awesome web designs by me.
Yeah.
Here, so do you want to hear a weird piece of like Penny Arcade trivia?
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is the venue, right? So on Penny Arcade, we have a comic strip, and then we have a news post. And the only reason we have a news post is because when I was making the design for the site, there was a lot of navigation buttons over on the right, and they were huge. I mean, they were gigantic, right? And it stretched the table cell out on the left so that it made the page look really fucked up. And I was like, well, I could just type something in there. I could just put text in that zone, and then it wouldn't look so off balance. And then I shackled myself
Yeah.
to this evil device.
But originally, you would just go into the code and write a new news post right over the old one.
Oh yeah, the first 3 years of news posts are all gone because I never archived any of it. I just went into that cell and then selected and deleted. Like,
I remember in the very early years, we had a hard drive crash. Remember that? We lost all the comics.
yeah.
I was still working at Circuit City, and I went into work, and I was really bummed. I was really sad, and I was like telling my friends, I was like, my God, we lost everything. We lost all the comics. And my friend Brad, who worked in the TV department, he's like, oh, I save everyone on a floppy disk. I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, I really like them, so I thought it'd be cool to save them. And I'm like, thank God for you. So he had like floppy disks with every Penny Arcade. It was really funny.
God, that's insane.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that part of the story.
We were really good at our jobs back then. Are those all empty? It's tricky because they're kind of mixed in.
I'm actually mad. I'm not pretending to be mad at you.
Because you can't tell. Because a lot of times I'll close the ones that I've already opened.
Fucking animal.
Makes it tough.
You fucking animal. Ha ha! Oh, Frank, I could not love you more.
You've already read the name of the person.
Well, no.
You
very
finished the
first part,
entire
it's
thing.
because he started the message with Gorobial.
Oh.
Gorobial, a.k.a. Mohark. And Jerry. Oh, my heart. I am sure your fans are as in abundance in Europe as they are in Australia. Blessing us with packs should be a good investment, both financially and toward your soul. Why not shine your light on us? Must we dwell in the dark forever, cursed because of our locality? Also, having a PAX in London, or better yet, in Brussels. Guess where he's from? The unofficial cuddly capital of Europe would put you very near the nation of weed. I am told I do not partake personally. You could be high as a kite throughout the show, not actually having to endure our European presence in a conscious state of mind.
He's a real fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds pretty good.
God, it could be worse.
Yeah. I think the original thought was that like they already have a couple really good shows over there, right? Like
Yeah, we specifically try not to go to a place and like colonize it and destroy local shows.
yeah.
Like that is actually in our mind when
It
we
seems
do stuff. Like,
rude.
oh yeah, like we had the overlap with Magfest, and so
Yeah.
we like made it a joke between the two places. Like that is absolutely not our intention. We specifically do not do that. But being super high for a week sounds pretty good. I don't know. For somebody. Gabe and Tycho, given that your parents didn't really encourage you to pursue your artistic goals, how did you find the strength and belief in yourself, that's a nice way of putting it, to keep working towards them? Did other people in your life encourage you, or did you just not consider failure an option? Or was it a combination of factors? Too dumb and stubborn.
Too dumb and stubborn to quit. Yeah. But I got encouragement. I definitely had encouragement along the way from my parents, from teachers. You had encouragement from teachers too. Like
Yeah.
we had people telling us that we should do this.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it was mostly teachers.
Yeah.
I had a teacher in high school named Ted Ketchum, who always used to. It's so funny. He always used to, because I would turn in my papers the same way that I post a news post, so that it's full of italics, like it's all this kind of stuff. And teachers do not like that. He's like, there is another way to add emphasis. You can emphasize perhaps with word choice, and it's just like, no, man. Yeah. And so every time I put in that I tag, I know that he can feel it.
Yeah.
Like a presence in the force.
That same teacher told me, I remember my last day, senior year in high school. He
Really?
said, yeah, he found me in the art room and said, this is what you have to do. That was like the last thing he said to me when I left high school. It was
No
it was
shit.
powerful, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
What? There was actually another teacher. There was a second teacher. Is this okay? Can I do this? Is that all right? So Ted Ketchum was awesome, and I had another English teacher after him for like American literature, and he was just a total asshole, and I came back to Mr. Ketchum and I was like, I can't learn anything from this guy. He is a total jerk, because Ted Ketchum's style is to really sort of invite you in and like nurture you, and this other guy is basically like a bandsaw, and his intention is to make a new person that is sort of like you but better. And these are very different. I was really on board with Ketchum's style. I was not on board with this other thing. And I remember he had given us a test once, and the answer to the test was like what color somebody's eyes were, like on one page of like a 30-page story. And I came up to him after class, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is not teaching. Like, that's not teaching me anything about the language. And he said, can you read? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, are you literate? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, then you should know what words are on the page. And that just, that changed my life. Like, that changed the way that I interact with text, and quite possibly made me this.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
This monster.
This creature.
Yeah. But there were tons of times when we should have quit.
Oh, yeah. Any smart person would have stopped doing this. What the shit?
Oh, it's red envelope music. Wow. Good job, guys. That was killer. Wow.
If you could travel back in time and do all of this over again, what is the one mistake you would still make because it was such a valuable learning experience, either business-wise or from a personal growth standpoint?
We've had variations of that question before. I mean, my answer is always something like, I think you have to repeat them all, right? I guess I'm one of these people that believes that we're here as a direct result of everything that has happened before.
Every switch.
Right? Like
Right.
every time you flip one of those switches, and every time, sometimes it's a success, and sometimes we accidentally sell our company, and like every one of those had to line up in just the right way for us to be right here. So I absolutely would repeat all of the same mistakes again.
Yeah. I don't know. We're up here like reading. There's some problems with the hat and like how the envelopes are, but everything else I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I honestly like where I am. Even the hat, I think, is great. Maybe especially the hat. Oh, is that an empty one? Here, that one's empty too. This is crazy. How are you supposed to find that fucking... Oh, I got it. I got a white one.
Oh.
Tell me about your counterparts' pre-marriage relationships. Embarrassing deets, please. This is from... I'm so glad I got this one. This is from Haunch.
Oh, don't worry. It's going both ways.
Boulder, Colorado. So you dated a witch, right? Like a legit witch. And didn't you guys have a date in a cemetery once? You did, right? You did, right? What did you do in the cemetery?
We filled acorn caps with milk for the fairies.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Michael, did any girls from a school ask if they could come over to your house so you could draw them?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm so sorry about the witch thing. Oh, my God.
I'm not saying that it happened. I'm just asking if it did happen. And what was that like? Did your hand shake?
I'm not going to talk about that. Let's go to the next question. I cannot tell that story.
I think that is the story. If you mess with the motherfucking bull,
Yeah, no, I got the horns.
my question is for Gabe.
Awesome.
You get the horns basically. Like, are you guys okay? The horns. Like, okay. All right. This is if I was going to make that metaphor anywhere, this is the place. My question is for Gabe. In the podcasts, you guys talk about Last of Us and having to put the controller down and stop playing. What point in the game was that? I have a different point than you.
Oh. I don't want to spoil anything, though. I guess it's an old game.
It's super old. I mean, listen, I think that once a game has had a remastered version, it's fucking open season.
Open season?
Here. Just cover your ears. Cover your ears. Cover them. Yeah, exactly.
There were a lot of points where I had to take a break. Early on and then later, there's a point late in the game where, let's see, I'm going to try to say this without giving too much away. Does anyone remember the scene with the giraffes? Yeah. It was such a powerful moment, I thought, between the two of them. It was, I don't know. There are so many moments like that in the game where you feel, as a dad, the sort of love that Joel has for her and how happy he is to sort of experience these happy moments with her. And it was just powerful. I every once in a while I had to stop and just think about what a great fucking game it was.
Well, I have a girl.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, by the time 10 minutes of that game have elapsed, you just can't.
You didn't play it, right? I mean, you stopped.
I stopped there.
Yeah.
In the same way that, like, you sort of know about the road and
Yeah.
you stopped. Like, what I know about it from there past there is from what I saw watching you play
Yeah.
and the conversations that we had, but that's too close.
The moment for me,
That's too close.
at the very end, not going to spoil it, I don't think. Joel's response to Ellie at the very end, his answer to her question,
Is a dad answer.
is a dad answer, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That is the lie that a dad would tell.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And that responsibility to curate some of that information with lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, sometimes on these Q&A panels, it seems like you're holding back some serious, raw emotions
What?
when questions come up about your relationship with Mike.
What do you?
So there might be a typo on that one. Or you are a more complicated person than I thought.
I really don't know myself very well.
I understand that you two have a professional relationship. Oh, I think they're talking about the two of us.
Oh.
But on a
Interesting.
personal level, are you two still cool with one another?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah. Like part of the reason I don't use the word friend is because it seems insufficient. All right, I just tripped over my language.
I don't mean to laugh at you when you're saying something important. I just
That's-
thought of something funny.
It's a word. It's a bad time to laugh at a person.
I thought of something I said about us to my wife the other night that was ridiculous.
Oh, well, you can do your thing. I don't have to communicate how I feel about our relationship.
No, go ahead. I want to hear. I want to hear.
I
yours.
actually forget what I was going to say.
No, I want to hear yours. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, it seems insufficient. And also, because I've had lots of friends, and I feel like if I had gone through some of this stuff with them, we wouldn't be friends anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been through some shit.
Yeah.
I said that I told her I really liked you. I thought you were neat. No.
I think he's a special guy.
She was asking about, like, when we get together and we're writing and she sees it, like, we're sort of operating in a different way than we operate, like, normally. Like, when the two of us are working, it's like us on 10, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're feeding off of each other, and we're coming up with comic ideas, and we're coming up with jokes.
Yeah.
And she said, are you ever sort of at that level when Jerry's not around? And I said, no,
Nah.
that I can't be on that level unless you are there.
Right.
Do you want to kiss now, or?
I think we're okay. No. I have a new system, and that's where I have all the actual questions and not
Oh.
the fucking question husks.
It's interesting.
Here, I've read like 10. Here.
Okay. How long do you think you guys can keep up with going to all these PAXs? Surely there will be a day when PAX has outgrown your ability to attend. Is there a succession or pulling out plan for when this time comes? Pulling out is actually very effective.
Conus interrupt us?
Or does PAX die with you? This is from Jeff
No,
in
like
Longview.
the pharaohs. Like the pharaohs of old.
Yeah.
So the last PAX will be held in a ziggurat.
and they'll
All
just
the
seal it.
attendees will come in, and the door will shut.
Yeah.
That was a joke about how I'm going to kill all of you. I realize now that that's not appropriate. But go ahead.
I think eventually there will be PAXs that we don't attend. I think that's safe to say.
I can conceive of that universe. If
I don't know how far away that is.
Yeah, if we're too frail,
Yeah.
right? I can see it. But I can also see another phase where I can see a half phase where we come just as ourselves.
Just attend the show. And
Yeah, where we go to the show and we don't have a schedule.
Yeah, I can see that. A sort of middle ground.
Yeah. If today you announced that the Penny Arcade comic strip would no longer be made, would the company last and for how long? That is a good question.
What's the question? If we didn't make the comic
Yeah.
anymore?
If today we announced that the Penny Arcade comic strip would no longer be made, would the company last and for how long?
Boy, that's a Robert question. Is Robert back there? No. I don't think it would survive. I mean, I like to believe that. No, I mean, Robert always says that everything he does and everything that we do as a company is built on the comic, and so that's sort of like the foundation for everything we do, right?
Yeah.
That might just be a nice thing he says to us, and it might be true. I don't know. You could keep doing PAXs. You still have merchandise, I guess. I don't know. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find another question.
I thought you put them all on the edge of the...
I did, but somehow 2 strange husks ended up in the pile.
This is really hard to find which ones
Yeah.
are...
I'm mad at you.
You know what? I think we might be out of questions.
We might be out. Well, there are 2 minutes left. What should we do with these
Ask
2 minutes?
someone to say a question.
You leg wrestle?
No, I'm not going to leg wrestle.
I don't even know what that is. I wouldn't even know how to do it. Make a strip? Let's see. Michael?
No, there's no questions in here.
There's no questions in there.
Yeah.
What should we do? Sing? Okay, I can sing. What do you want? Do you want the sea shanty? All right.
No. Sing My Bell Royale.
Sing Bell Royale?
Yeah.
I don't remember how to do it.
What?
I haven't sung that forever. Here, don't worry. I have a sea shanty. We can send this thing out right. Are we ready? Okay.
You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay. It's a damn tough life full of toil and strife we whaler men undergo. And we don't give a damn when the day is done how hard the wind did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound through the Arctic ground with a good ship taut and free. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui.
Hey! Good? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Have
Ladies
a
and
great
gentlemen,
weekend.
we'll see you at PAX.